Variation refers to the differences found within a species and between different species. These differences can be due to genetic factors, environmental influences, or a combination of both. Understanding variation is crucial for studying how organisms adapt to their environments and evolve over time. Here's a breakdown of the key concepts. Every species has its own unique set of genes that determine its characteristics. Genes are made up of DNA and are inherited from the parents. The combination of genes an organism receives influences its traits such as color, size, and behavior. Different species have different genes, which is why they look and behave differently from each other. Inherited and environmental variation. Inherited variation. This type of variation is due to genetic differences. It is passed from parents to offspring through reproduction. For example, eye color, blood type, and certain genetic disorders are inherited traits. These traits are determined by the genes an organism inherits from its parents. Environmental variation. This variation occurs due to differences in the environment where an organism lives. It is not related to genetic differences, but to external factors such as diet, climate, and living conditions. For example, a plant might grow taller if it receives more sunlight, or an animal might develop a thicker coat in colder climates. Inherited and environmental variation. Many traits are influenced by both genetic and environmental factors. For example, height is a trait influenced by genes, inherited, but also by nutrition and health during growth, environmental. Variation can be categorized into two main types, continuous and discontinuous. Continuous variation. This type of variation occurs when a trait can vary smoothly over a range of values. For example, height and weight are subject to continuous variation because they can take any value within a range. Continuous variation is typically influenced by multiple genes, polygenic inheritance, and environmental factors. For instance, human height can vary from very short to very tall, with many possible intermediate heights. Discontinuous variation. This type of variation occurs when a trait can only take specific values, often with no intermediate stages. For example, blood type A, B, AB, or O is a trait that exhibits discontinuous variation because it falls into distinct categories. Discontinuous traits are usually controlled by a single gene or a small number of genes and are less influenced by environmental factors. In summary, variation in biology is essential for understanding how species differ and adapt. Different species have different genes, leading to variations in their characteristics. Traits can be affected by inherited factors, environmental influences, or both. Variation can be continuous, with traits showing a range of values, or discontinuous, with traits falling into distinct categories.